Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to this weekend edition of the Iftar Drive. We've got just a minute left until Iftar time in the Durban region, and then in Johannesburg, Iftar is at 5:57 p.m. and Cape Town 6:24 p.m. Let's move on now to our next segment for this hour, and that, of course, is our weekly tafsir segment with Maulana Muhammad Zubair. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Salam Media.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and jazakallah for granting me this opportunity.
It's certainly a pleasure, and I believe it's actually our final installment of this series of conversations that we're having. Bismillah, you may take the platform.
Jazakallah khair, bismillah wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadi alladhina istafa amma ba'd. Coming towards the end of on the very first Saturday that Shahrul Ramadan, Shahrul Quran. So on conclusion,
Okay, it seems as though we've lost Maulana Muhammad Zubair Bulate for this segment. He's actually about to give us the final installment of the series of conversations that we were having over the past month or so, of course, during the course of Ramadan, in which Maulana was actually unpacking several different ayat of the Quran and lessons that you can draw from those ayat, and the various lessons that we can learn from those, and hopefully implement and use in our lives. And we're hoping that we can actually establish a better connection with him for this segment, the final one in this series of conversations. And that, of course, brings us to around 39 minutes past 5 p.m. Central Africa time, which means it is, of course, iftar time in the Durban region. And then iftar time coming up shortly in the Johannesburg region at 3 minutes to 6 p.m. Just to look at what we've been discussing while we're trying to get Maulana on the show once again. We were talking to Dr. Imran Kika about the situation in some KwaZulu-Natal schools where learners have actually been left hungry due to a shortage of food, it appears, from the national scheme, that is the feeding scheme that is responsible for delivering food to a number of destitute learners across the province. I think we've got Maulana back on the line. Assalamu alaikum, Maulana. Can you hear me? Okay. I can't seem to hear anything at this stage, so I think we're still trying to get hold of him for now. Yeah, nonetheless, as I was saying, the conversation earlier on with Dr. Imran Kika, it really makes you wonder, really, about the state of incompetence when the state is unable to deliver to the people upon its mandate, as he was saying. This leaves people hungry. It has real consequences. People genuinely go hungry. And in this case, these are thousands of learners who rely on the system to feed them daily because they simply do not have the means, the access to these nutritious foods at home. And we were having this conversation, a similar conversation yesterday as well, with the researcher at the University of Cape Town when we were speaking about unequal access to nutrition in South Africa. It's really a serious issue. And I think many of us, from our positions of privilege, tend to overlook this. We think that supporting a feeding scheme in the community is going to just solve the problem overnight, and we're doing our bit by doing that. But when you look at it, we really need to have more thorough conversations around this, and we need to hold people accountable because, as Dr. Kika was saying, when you look in the situation of in this instance, in the case of KwaZulu-Natal, where thousands of learners have actually gone hungry this week because of certain logistical issues when it comes to the delivery of food, the food parcels that they were actually dependent and relying upon for quite a while now. Um, the MEC for education has actually been out of the picture all of this while. People have been talking about the situation in the schools. Some people have been making noise about it, but the MEC is yet to say anything about this, to come in on a public platform and say this is a situation, that these are the issues and the challenges that we are facing with regards to this, and this is why we are unable to deliver food, and these are the plans that we have. These are the contingency plans that we have to address this. And the fact is that unfortunately, such plans do not exist, simply do not exist, or at least it would appear to be the case, as Dr. Kika was saying. Let's try one more time to see if we can connect with Maulana Zubair. Our time is actually running, and it is, of course, of the essence. Assalamu alaikum, Maulana. Can you hear me? Nope, not working. Let's take a break while we try to figure this out, and we'll continue with the show shortly thereafter. Please do stay tuned.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
Somalia's worst drought in 40 years has left affected areas in desperate need of food and water. The crisis is impacting more than 6.7 million people, with more than 1 million displaced. Al Imdad Foundation is providing critically needed food, water, and emergency relief aid to drought-displaced families in the worst affected areas of Somalia. Donate now and help keep famine at bay. Visit alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
These days, I'm more health conscious than ever, so tonight it's stir fry for dinner, cooked in healthy Helios pure sunflower cooking oil. Helios is pure sunflower goodness, packed with omega-6. That's good for your heart, and is approved as part of the Heart and Stroke Foundation eating plan. Dinner's ready! Helios, pure sunflower cooking oil. A healthy family is a happy one.
Did you know that Sanzav's Bakery produces fresh bread rolls and buns, as well as quarter loaf bunnies? These baked goods are distributed to those in need as part of our Meals Project. By donating to the Sanzav Meals Project, you can help us continue to provide fresh meals, including these baked goods, to individuals daily. To learn more, visit sanzaf.org.za or call 011 834 6046. Sanzav, changing lives through development and relief.
At Sentio, our Invest for Good philosophy is based on a genuine desire to use our investment skills for the benefit of broader society by investing responsibly, giving charitably, and developing talent that will transform the investment industry. Visit www.sentio-capital.com for more information about our Sharia investment products and start saving with us today. Sentio Capital. Invest for good. Sentio Capital Management is an authorized financial services provider.
No one knows which night is the night of power, but we do know there is great power in generosity. When times are hard, Allah tells us to give. When we are sick, give. And if we want more wealth, we should give. That's the power of generosity. Give generously in these last 10 nights. Donate now to Islamic Relief.
This Ramadan, spread the love with Sunshine D margarine, the perfect addition to your seri table for spreading, baking, and cooking. Sunshine D is rich in essential vitamin A, E, and D, and is the tastiest way to get their day or night started. Sunshine D tastes nice, no lies.
Do you want to make a real impact this Ramadan? Donate your zakah to Ashraful Aid. Your zakah can help feed an orphan, support a widow, build a home for a refugee family, sponsor a HIF student, and much more. With Ashraful Aid, you can make a real difference. Visit our website at www.ashrafulaid.org to make a donation. Make your Ramadan meaningful with Ashraful Aid.
Salam Media, your spiritual companion this Ramadan.
Not trying to be in this, not trying to be cool, just trying to be in this room. Robbie, you know too. I can feel where the wind is, I can feel it through.
All right, the time is just gone 17:55 Central African time, which means it is time to break your fast. If
you are listening to Salam Media live from our headquarters in South Africa. This is Salam Media, keeping you company this Ramadan.
All right, the time has just gone 5 minutes to 6 p.m. Central African time. Welcome back. You are tuned into Salam Media. It is, of course, iftar time in the Johannesburg region. And then, of course, Cape Town, iftar will be at 6:24 p.m. So you've still got about half an hour there. Nonetheless, that brings us to the end of the show for today. And of course, this is the last time, quite possibly, that you will be hearing from me for Ramadan, considering that next week might be Eid. But have yourself a fantastic week further. Enjoy the rest of your Ramadan. Make the most of it. We are in quite auspicious days, in fact, and nights. And enjoy your Eid as well when that comes around, inshallah. From myself, Zahid Jadwat, and the team, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.